Welcome responders to another video on tips for starting an emergency Layflat hose program in a bad economy or limited budget. Now this video will be for water and wastewater. I'm going to mix them too, so don't worry, I'm not going to focus too much on either or. So if you're on water or wastewater, we're going to briefly cover both. Okay, so let's get started. Tip number one is having an all or nothing attitude in this industry, especially with Layflat hose. Now you can just use part of the budget. That's what a lot of people do. I know people that they keep it small, and I'm going to explain more of that later. And another version of this all or nothing attitude is kind of the herding attitude. So my neighbor doesn't have it, so why should I have it? A lot of people around me don't seem to have much of it, so why should I have it? So just because your neighbor doesn't have it doesn't mean you're not going to find a lot of value in using this equipment. So many customers I have, their neighbors don't have it, and they've used it so many times. So just remember that by starting off with your own Layflat hose program, that it will provide value, and especially over the long term. Tip number two, hose is king. Layflat hose is king. So getting the hose, the couplings, the adapters, the reducers, that's the most important part. So if you don't have that, you don't really need a trailer, right? So you can start small with just the hoses that you do have. And if you don't plan on getting a lot of hose, you may not even need a trailer. So I have plenty of customers that don't have trailers, but they have hose configurations, and they're chopped into different bits, which can also provide a lot of value. Tip number three, starting with small hose sizes. Now this will help you guys on the field become more accustomed to Layflat hose more quickly and easily. Why? Well, there's a number of reasons. Starting with 1 inch and 2 inch for water using compression fittings is so easy to use. Now I'm talking for this for water. Wastewater, you're gonna have to start a little bit bigger. Usually they start at 3 inch up to 4 inch, a little more heavier, but let's do some of the math and see how heavy this stuff really is. So the weight of a full coil of 1 inch NSF hose, 660 feet long, is 72 pounds. Now that's incredibly light. So imagine if you chop that up into bits, 50 and 100 foot sections. You're talking very doable weights for your guys out in the field. Now, wastewater wise, the weight of full coil wastewater TPU hose, which is very high quality hose, by the way. I highly suggest it because the weight's so great. Let's do a 3 inch by 660 foot, which is the most you can get, 660 foot on each water and wastewater. And this is 356 pounds. So if you cut that up, 356 pounds divided by 6 lengths, which is roughly about 100 foot per section, that's about 59 pounds. So still not bad. That's 2 sizes up from the 1 inch, of course. So this is not a really good comparison. I'm just doing it because water and wastewater are two different things, and they use different types of flows and types of hoses. So still very doable, right? So you guys on the field just want to start out with 1 coil, and let's say you want to be able to bypass 1 block. You don't need a trailer for that. So a lot of customers I have, they store them in shelves. And another small tip within this tip is don't let other people grab your inventory. Like if you have wastewater hoses in your warehouse, don't let anybody grab them and use them for whatever they want. Keep them, tag them, says emergency only. I see a lot of yards, they have these around, and then other departments grab them and use them for whatever they want. And then when you need it, you're like, where the heck did this go? So something to think about. Start small, sectionalize your inventory, and you'll find out that it's not only easy to use, but it's not so hard to carry around. Tip number 4, you don't have to buy a trailer or reel in the beginning. I have plenty of water and wastewater customers who started off small with a small inventory of hose fittings and different reducers, and then later upgraded to a trailer the next year. So you can always buy a trailer later, and like I said before, small sizes are easy to carry around. Okay, responders, I hope that was helpful. A lot of people have been really concerned about budget this year and last year, probably the last 3 years actually. So I hope this kind of helps you understand that you don't have to go big. You can go little by little. This stuff is all reusable. And then I do want to explain that the the amount of weights I give here are based on the weights that the hoses we sell. So they're not always going to be the same manufacturers, but typically high quality hose is always they're very close in weight. So you can take this with a grain of salt. Also, like I said before, you don't have to, even if you're a large utility, you can start small as well. Basically building like a pilot program to see if your guys will even use it. You always want to start small when you do that anyways. So hope this was helpful. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Please like or subscribe to my YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. I would really appreciate it to help us grow our channel. So I hope you guys are doing well. Please give me back any feedback that you think that might be valuable for future videos. Okay? Have a great day, and thank you for listening.